Now, passenger tips. If you are a passenger in a vehicle and your driver starts texting, it's in your best interest to tell the person, please, do you mind putting away the phone? Let's get to where we're going. Because, this texting and driving, I don't know why I keep on overemphasizing it. Texting and driving, I've done plenty bad thing. So we should try. Sometimes just remind the driver. It doesn't have to be in a rude way. Be like, hey, I'm kind of concerned about you texting and driving. Do you mind keeping the phone away for 10 minutes? Let's just get to where we're going. Then if you notice, probably this is your driver's tip. If you notice your car starts to develop some kind of faults, maybe it will start going fast all of a sudden, entering another gear all of a sudden. If you just notice your car start acting funny, please move away from the express lane and move into the service lane. At least in the service lane, people know maybe something is going on in this person's head. They'll give you space in the service lane, because if you're going on the express lane, everyone assumes you have to be moving fast, and then in a situation where your car just stops abruptly, that's like an accident or something. So I think then what else? As a passenger, whenever you are entering the vehicle, always try to, if it's when you're having kids, maybe you go to pick up your kids, your sister's kids, or whoever, as long as they are kids, sometimes it's actually advisable to lock the cars and lock the windows. For cars that have window locks, always try to lock the windows and lock the doors, because kids could just press down the window and put their hand out and start dancing. Or even dogs, I take my dogs out, and that's one thing I've learned. When I wind down a little bit to what I know is safe enough for them, I lock the windows, because they might decide to greet everybody on the road, and before you know it's now one mad that full driver just comes and cuts them, and dog bills are expensive, so are children. So just try to lock your windows and this thing. And in a case where your dog or your child knows how to unlock the car, if it's not really this new model type of cars that once you lock, not every child knows how to do, you could ensure child protection is on. Child protection lock is, I don't know if you've ever noticed, there's this tiny lever, would I call it lever, or tiny switch at the side of your door. Maybe after this call you could check any car around you. There's this tiny switch at the side of the door. So when you put that switch on, when you activate that switch, whoever is in the back of the car cannot get out while inside the car. There has to be external help to help that person out of the car. So you could do that, and that keeps your kids who are inside the car safe. But in a case where the passenger is an adult, you should ensure that the child lock is off, because there are some situations where it is better for you to run out than to remain in the car. So in a case where your child lock is now on and you're inside the car, that's the bad one. So if you have kids in the car, switch on child lock. But if you don't have kids in the car and it's just you, then you can switch it off. Then another thing is to pay attention to traffic lights. Yes, it is. Will I say something that not many Nigerians, Lagosians.
I mean, not at night, after 9, if that red light is red, I'm not saying everybody should do it, but you already know that in Lagos, 9, 10, traffic light, red light, you're sitting there, you're in God's hand. I know, 10, 11, I don't care what that light is saying, whether it's red or green, I'm going, because you already know that at that time anyways, you shouldn't even be out, to be honest, or at least not by yourself. So, yeah.
And staying out late in traffic, I know sometimes is inevitable in Lagos, because in Lagos you even wake up before the cock crows. You're out on the road by 4 a.m. and you're coming back, it's 9 p.m. But if there are ways that you can avoid, maybe when it's not in a work situation, you're going to hang out with friends, and you're you could try to arrange accommodations nearby, and then when it's daytime you can move where you're going, because going at night, places in now that's hold up. They started it before a long time, not really a long time ago, some while back, kidnappings, and they've started now.
Wow.
So if you know anything that's going to keep you in the road that is not the urgency, not top, just try to avoid it. In a case where you know you cannot avoid that traffic is inevitable, try to book accommodation around. I've had times where probably I had to go to a friend's birthday party or something, and what I did was, it's still in the same Lekki all of us are, but still I knew, okay, Landmark Beach at Ikoyi. I booked a hotel at Ikoyi, stayed there because I staying at the that day, and the next morning I got from the hotel, went to my house, because it won't take you anything, even though it might take some extra bucks, but you could discuss with some of your friends, hey, why don't we share the room? That night I think we were like 6 or 7 in the room, and the bill was just like 1,000 per person. So it was like 150 much. So those are some of my personal tips, I think. And then, okay, when driving at night, whether you're the driver or passenger, your handbag and your cell phones out of light. I don't know.
I was gonna say that,
Yeah, pressing your phone, you know the light is going to be showing, and then if anybody wants to do anything nasty, they're going to see, oh, as a phone, and they will know the best way. But if your phone is out of sight, your bags are out of sight, then it's going to make it like harder to try to figure out a way to snatch it, or how will I explain it? Yeah, and you've already mentioned locking the door and winding up your windows. So I think sum up majority of what I have to say. I have stuff to say later. I could mention it. So yeah, back to you, Kosi.
I wanted you to talk about how using pepper spray, because that statement is quite broad, but I remember that because my sister and I were talking about using pepper spray as self-defense, right? If you, so people just assume that I can use my pepper, even if the assailant is far from them, they just assume that as long as I press my pepper spray, you can get it. Since this is your forte and this is, what you're an expert in, I want you to sort of kind of give like a quick explanation on how to use pepper spray to in self-defense situation. One thing I know is I know that if the person is too far from me, there's no point. But I wanted you to sort of kind of give reasons why, how to, what to, tell us how we can get it. In fact, tell us how much it'll cost, and yeah.
Okay. So basically, we don't just have type of pepper. There are different pepper spray, and especially these have like pepper spray as guys.
Anita, I don't know what's going on with your mic, but you keep going in and out, in and out, in and out.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but as you're talking, then it keeps breaking out. So go ahead, talk, and let's see.
Okay, so I say these days where pepper spray
Much better.
there are different types of pepper spray because they have different types of range, just like we have different types of guns for different types of assault. We have different types of pepper sprays. There are some that can go as far as well, I say no. I've never seen any that can go as much as 5 meters, but I've seen some go as far as 3 meters, and the ones I am selling right now go as far as 2 meters. So what you could do is, I always advise people to try to practice with your pepper spray not too much. Just spray it once or twice in a while. Try to check how far, because I may tell you 2 meters, and you'd envisage something that's really far, but 2 meters is not. It's far, but it's not that far. So the type of pepper spray you have, you need to know how far it can reach. And then another thing, some people are afraid of using pepper spray because they feel it can get into your eyes, and they have enough reason to worry because that thing is excruciating. I can remember when I got the last set of pepper spray, and because it was sea shipments, they were like under extreme pressure for like 2 months. And once I opened the carton, it wasn't really a carton because I told them to put it in a plastic container, so it burnt water and rain and everything would affect it. And immediately I opened the what do you call it, the bucket, or the plastic container, the pepper just like whoosh. I don't know how there was one that was already under pressure, and the moment I yeah, so what I'm just trying to say is that thing, if it enters your eye or your nose or touches your skin, hey, God of mercy, I don't know the words to use and explain the pain. So basically what I'm saying is, before you spray your pepper spray, please and please and please assess the situation. And when I say assess the situation, first of all, check how far your attacker is away from you. Check how far Secondly, check the direction of wind. Never spray your pepper spray when the wind is coming towards you, because you just be putting yourself back inside fire. You're giving yourself what you want to give someone else. Because when you spray it and the wind brings it back to you, you're going to be in pain, and whoever wants to do whatever nonsense to you would have their way. So check the direction of the wind, check how far the attacker is from you, because you just pepper spraying to thin air is like you're just wasting it. So you could wait for the attacker. If it's in a case where the attacker is far from you and there are other things you can do to get out of that mess, please do get out of that mess. Don't be waiting for the person to come close to you with your pepper spray. But if you see that, okay, I can't move, then get your spray handy, and once within that 2 meter range, you spray, you take attack, and once you do that, you flee. I think 4 or 5 episodes, flee or fight method. You flee. Your pepper way to be seen if it has its eye or not. Some people actually have high pain tolerance levels, and if it's someone that has it and can still, it's very rare. It's very rare, but that's not to say it doesn't. So in the case where the exists, please, once you spray, you're wrong. You becomes a lot of safety stuff. Always ensure when your pepper spray or it's on your chain, let's always ensure your pepper spray is locked, because all pepper spray, and I mean all pepper sprays, come with lock. Although some don't, or majority, all the ones I sell come with lock. So I always tell people, please, once you're done using a lock kit, because you don't know searching for something bad and you don't know who's facing you, then the next or something, the pepper spray goes into the eye. So you just have to try as much as possible to always ensure that it's locked. Then another thing is, before you spray your pepper spray, check for where the nozzle is. The nozzle is always visible. It is always in every type of pepper spray. It is always marked red. So both the activation button and the nozzle, they're always marked. So that it's a way for you before you spray. That's try practice both pepper spray empty or something, practicing worst case scenario, because you keep be like, how do I think about doing it? When you practice and over again, your brain already gets accustomed to what you should do in such situations. So these are what I say, my basic how to use pepper sprays. I hope answers your question.
Yeah, you did. I didn't even know. For one, I didn't. I mean, now that I think about it, I have the one that's on my keychain that's perpetually in my car. But I know it has a lot. I don't think I've ever checked the range. I think I just, there was a craze. It's still in existence, anyways. This whole human trafficking. So it got so heightened that everybody was on their toes. So I just literally went on Amazon. I didn't even check the range. I didn't check anything. So I missed it. I didn't check. Now that you mentioned, I'm actually going to see the range that it's the questions as well, because I kind of get it whenever I put back in my product. So yeah, you did answer. The folks that are just joining, we are talking about safety while you're in traffic, or safety in traffic. So you don't necessarily have to be the driver. I like how Anita split it. You can be the driver or the passenger, but what are the safety rules that carry with you when you enter the car, find yourself in traffic? We've talked about, if you're the driver, make sure that before you leave the house, you check water level, especially in that Nigeria. Water level, you check your battery, you check oil. Battery on, which means I went to her daughter's 1-year-old party somewhere on the mainland, and I remember I was coming back, and I know my car sometimes will just up, but I was like, okay, for the past 2-3 days I didn't bother checking that morning. Under that blah 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 sign bridge, that car just cut off. And it cuts off. It doesn't give me a warning like, oh, it's about to cut off, let me get over the highway. No, I'll just slow down, just cut off. And I remember that happened, and I know anywhere I see traffic, I have PTSD. I'm always thinking, oh shit, something's about to happen, or what have you. So I remember that, and I remember the fear, like, it was me and my friend. So she was just like, okay, calm down. And then I said, no, you don't even know what to do. So I had to, in the middle of traffic there, I know Nigerians, first of all, they are not patient. As soon as they saw that, they already started honking horn. So I found myself like, I started counting, I started breathing. I was like, okay, I can do this. So I came out, lifted who did the thing, and did the battery thing that we were talking about earlier. And it was for less than 3 minutes, but I remember panic. The that's another topic, I guess. Some Nigerians, I mean, I don't know, should I don't want to, but some people will help, and most people will just want to yell and scream at you and tell you to get the heck off the way. But I remember that longest, and the worst scenario you just painted earlier, heaven forbid, maybe I was chased, robbery or whatever, that would have been because my car was not going anywhere until I went in front and did the battery thing, and I could have avoided that if in the morning. Usually I do it, but that morning I was like, it's not happening in 2 3 days, Jerry. Let's just go. So I didn't even bother. But just to piggyback on what you said, if you can do it daily, that's fantastic. Be a driver. So that's my own story as far as that is concerned. As far as, okay, so we were talking about that. So everybody's just sharing. I'm trying to keep people updated. People are just sharing what the experiences are, what you do in traffic. This past 20 minutes, I've learned a couple of things. You share what it is you do every day. Getting into traffic, especially in Lagos. I'm sure Abuja people can't really relate because they barely get in traffic. So I hear, anyways. I've never lived in Abuja. I lived in Akure. We have traffic, but it's not. Akure traffic is like, if anytime I get in traffic in Accra, I don't even complain. Like, the driver is complaining, go slow, go slow. I just laugh that, is this traffic? Like, we are getting to destination and we're supposed to be there maybe 8 minutes. We are getting there maybe 15 minutes. I complain, this is traffic. So I guess people in Accra too can't relate, but people in Lagos, I'm sure you guys have days as far as traffic is concerned. What you do how do you stay safe? How do you practice security while you're in traffic? And if you want to speak, just request the mic. I'll hand it to you. You can share or, whatever. And if you don't have a car, what do you practice? How do you stay safe even if it's in a bus or you're in Uber or Bolt? What do you do to stay safe in traffic?